because according to PointsBet, the Kansas City Chiefs favored by 3, just like the Packers favored by 3. Chiefs at home against the Buffalo Bills, the team that ended the season as number 1 in the PFT Power Rankings. Not as impressive against the Colts, very impressive against the Ravens, especially defensively. Now they roll into Kansas City. Let's start with Buffalo defense against that Kansas City Chiefs offense, which we assume will have Patrick Mahomes. It would be a huge surprise if they don't. He's got that toe issue. They've got a great array of weapons. What do you see the Chiefs doing offensively against the Buffalo Bills defense?
Well, I think this is going to be a game, Mike, at least in my opinion, and just, from watching film and doing all this crap, right, that I do. I'm Ron Jaworski. I watch the film. I would be shocked if the Chiefs approach the game the same way they did the first time. I think we're going to see a totally different style of game from both of these football teams. That was early in the year. It was kind of a bad weather game. And the Bills at that point couldn't stop the run. And they were really bad on defense. I mean, really bad. Had some really bad deficiencies and things, Mike, that we went in on the time where I would just go, no, every team is trying to run the ball right at this one spot because the Bills can't figure out how to defend that spot in certain formations. And the Chiefs did that. But I think within that, too, they took away some of their own strengths as a football team. I'm fine with running the ball, but don't get in like the I formation with the tight end and Patrick Mahomes under the center like they did the first time. How about getting the shotgun and make them worry about all the passes and then run those same runs you ran? To me, that'll put more pressure on this Bills defense. I think that's what we're going to see more of this time. Plus, I don't think you can take the risk if you're the Chiefs. Not with that other offense on that side of the ball where you could just go, oh, we're going to play balanced. No, they're going to have to attack. And that's where I think you could see some sort of a shootout. And where it'll be interesting to me, the Bills' defense, Mike, we've hit this a lot too, so much better than it was then compared to now. I mean, the last 7 or 8 weeks, it's been amazing. But the one thing I always come back to with the Bills' defense, they were great against the Ravens last week because they got to go all in on we're going to stop the run game and we don't have to worry about everything in the pass game. They were great at the end of the regular season because they got in some of those like sort of matchups with like the New England Patriots and things like that. We saw in the wild card round they had issues though. Why? Because that team had just a little balance to where you're like, wait, we got to stop that run. Oh, wait, and they have this great passing game, or not great, but good, and they couldn't stop either one. Now, I don't think that's the case with the Chiefs. I don't think the Chiefs are going to run the ball 46 times or anything like that, but the Bills are going to be a little compromised in this one. And that, to me, is going to be the big challenge for them is can they confuse Mahomes and Andy Reid and give them enough crazy looks till they don't know what to expect? I don't know, Mike. I mean, what's your thoughts on that?
Well, here's my thought, and it was triggered by something you said there because last weekend we spent time talking about the potential value of the Browns reducing possessions in the divisional round game against the Chiefs, keeping Patrick Mahomes on the sideline drinking Gatorade or, as the case may be, pina coladas. And then the prior week, it was the Colts reducing possessions, slowing the game down, shortening the game, and keeping Josh Allen on the sidelines. And Chris, in a crazy sort of way, when you bring these two high-powered offenses together, and this is the thought that came to me when you said shootout, I started thinking, which team would benefit from slowing it down and reducing possessions? And I can't believe I'm going to say it, but I think the Chiefs would benefit from strategically and tactically slowing down the game and keeping Josh Allen on the sideline. I think the chances of Allen being frustrated and pressing and making mistakes are greater if you force him to wait than if you force Mahomes to wait.
Right.
Although I think the intuitive thought would be the Bills will be better off keeping the Chiefs on the sideline. I think in this game, the strategy that could work well for the Chiefs. Now, look, I think any strategy will work for the Chiefs. But I think you take the steam out of the Bills' offense by having long, methodical, old-school West Coast drives where you just gradually and deliberately take what's there and move it down the field and don't try to force something. Don't make a mistake. Just go easy and slow and controlled 7-minute drives. Keep Josh Allen on the sideline and try to make them frustrated by their lack of opportunity.
It's an interesting conversation, Mike. I don't think you're crazy with that thought at all. It's crossed my mind to a degree. It has. First off, I mean, your point about, Josh Allen, the Bills, their patience. Mahomes and them, they've already had to deal with this. Like, they've shown they're patient. They had their, whoa, defenses are playing really conservative. What can Kansas City do to compound this? And they went, wait, we can run it a little, but we'll extend our short passing game and make that better. And, they are a patient team when they have to be. They really are. Yeah, the Bills, I don't know if I'm as convinced with that. I'm with you. And to me, the Bills, I would be worried about that. And that's, to me, where I would force the issue a little bit. To your point also there along those lines, the Bills have no running game. The Chiefs have a running game that you have to defend a little bit. You can't just go, forget it. We're not even going to think about it. No, they run the ball just good enough to where you go, crap, I got to worry about stopping that 1 or 2 runs they do in the shotgun. That's going to be an issue for us when I have to worry about all this other stuff. One of the big keys to the game, Mike, for me, will be McDermott and Leslie Frazier. And just, you said it in the draft today, the mind games and things they'll have to do with Andy Reid. They're going to have to try to be able to fool them with some pre-snap looks. Like, hey, we're down in here. You're not going to run the ball against this look. Don't run this ball. And then, there's Mahomes, wide A, and all of a sudden they drop back. And it's, oh, God, I checked to the pass already. Damn, it was too late. They're going to have to do some of that and take some chances and maybe even void some areas at times to just go, okay, we were worried about this and we stopped this. And, yeah, we might have cheated and left this area wide open, but we did it unexpectedly and calculated to where maybe you didn't notice it. And those are the teams that have success against the Chiefs, though.
Okay, so what do you expect the Chiefs to do then? Do you expect them to push the ball down the field aggressively and get into a shootout, or do you think they will be inclined to just take what's there, and if it means slowing the game down and keeping Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs and company on the sideline, they'll embrace that?
I think in my heart of hearts, I think they're going to be too scared to play that way. I think they're going to look at it and just go, you know what? We are who we are. I'm not going to go down giving the ball to the running backs. If we go down, we're going down with Mahomes and Tyreek and Travis Kelce. And I just expect them to play that style of football. I do. Not that it's going to be a drop back pass every play or anything like that, but I think it's going to be 4-to-1, pass run ratio, something like that in that range. And I think that's what'll be different. That's why I don't know, in my mind, I'm expecting a little bit more of a shootout, certainly in this game as compared to the first time around.
And I think there's something to be said for the Chiefs trying to go for the jugular early, squish the bug. Don't let it run around for a little bit and toy with it and try to outlast it. Just squish it.
Well,
because that's something that we haven't seen happen to the Bills very often. But remember when we were thinking they're pretty damn good and they were thinking they're pretty damn good and they stepped into the buzzsaw against the Titans and then the Chiefs in prime time, 6 days apart, the Tuesday night game and the Monday night game, that kind of rattled them, and it took them a while to recover from it. And I think that the Chiefs are going to look to rattle them and do to them what the Chiefs had done to them last year. The Chiefs were able to recover from it. I think Andy Reid and company will believe the Bills won't be able to recover from 17-0, 20-3, 21-7, whatever they could try to do early, lightning strike like they did to the Browns, and the Browns, to their credit, found a way to try to fight back.
Yeah.
But I think that's going to be the approach. Deliver the knockout punch as early as possible, especially if you got a chance. And look, the chances of the Chiefs blowing out the Bills are very slim. But if there is an opportunity to get Patrick Mahomes off the field and get him off that toe, you're going to take it. So if you think your offense can roll up a bunch of points and you trust your defense to slow them down, and you could get into the third quarter and you're up 38-10, great, because then I can get Patrick Mahomes out of the game. That's another reason to, obviously, you want to win the game more than anything else. But I could see that there's just wisdom in trying to break the Bills early. Force the issue, trust your guys, and break the Bills early. As Andy Reid said in explaining his decision to go for it on 4th and 1 late against the Browns, there's no tomorrow. And I don't see Andy Reid getting conservative now.
Well, yeah, and that's exactly right. And the team's built around the offense. That's where the money is. That's the unit that's got to win the game. That's one of the greatest units in the sport. that's the unit that can put pressure on the other team to make the other team have to play a way they don't want to play. And that's where I'm getting at, Mike, to kind of what you're saying. We're kind of working, simpatico here, because the first time around, I think it was the most Mahomes was under the center and they were in I formation and stuff, and they really played right into the hands of the Bills. The Bills were probably like, thank God, fine. Yeah, we don't have to worry about McCole Hardman and Tyreek split over here and Kelsey and Sammy Watkins split over here. Now you're in one of these normal formations. We can kind of disguise because people are packed in here a little bit more and maybe trick you and do those. It's hard to be tricky or show an all-out blitz, right? And say, okay, I want to show an all-out blitz and shotgun, right? And then yet there's Tyreek Hill out there in the slot, and you're like, wait, my safety is up there by the line of scrimmage trying to show all-out blitz, and I'm going to say set hut, and I want him to run back and play the deep half while Tyreek Hill runs down the field. Like, that's where I think the Kansas City can put a lot more pressure on the Bills, and I expect them to do that this time around.
And as you were saying that, and these conversations are great for me because it stimulates my brain, which at times needs it. I think that back in Week 6, when coincidentally the Packers and the Bucs got together, the Chiefs and the Bills got together, I think Andy Reid knew they were going to cross paths again. And I think Andy Reid specifically engineered that game plan knowing we're going to save the good stuff for the one that counts.
Right. I'll take advantage of a weakness I see right now, but I got a lot of other ways I'd like to attack Sean McDermott, and I'll keep those in the vault for later on. I wouldn't be shocked with that. Hey, they did what they had to do right there at that point of the year to win the football game. That's how they looked at it. This is a different team right now, and it is a different circumstance with win or go home. And I have a hard time thinking like a guy like Andy Reid is going to sit there, and I think he'd be able to rest a lot easier on Monday if he lost going down with we threw it and we tacked and did everything like that. And if it was the other way around where he tried to play balance and run the ball, I think that'll make him not sleep all next week if they lose the game that way around. He's going to go, damn, what the hell was I thinking? I got Patrick Mahomes and these guys and all this money on the offense. Why would I let them off the hook? So I think we see the pretty much aggressive air show from the Chiefs offense.
All right, all due respect to the Bills' offense and the Chiefs' defense, but we spent too much time talking about the other side, the more fascinating side of this fight that we don't have time to get into that. What we do have time to do is make our picks. I went first last game. You go first this game. Who do you like and why and by how many?
Man, we don't have enough time to hit that part of it. Well, I just want to say
a couple minutes.
Good. Okay.
Go ahead.
The Bills' offense, they did themselves an injustice too. They played a style like we just talked about too, where we're running the ball on 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1 and running the ball on first down. Hey, screw all that, okay? You're not a running team. Move on. And I think they've realized that. I think they realized that around the Seattle Seahawks game where they just said, hey, the hell with it. We're going to throw the ball every play. Josh Allen told me last week, he goes, Dayball comes in on some Wednesdays and Thursdays and goes, I don't think we're going to run it much this week. We might throw it every play. They're going to go with what brought them there too. And I think they're going to go down swinging with their weapons, their offense, the strength of their football team. And honestly, I think a little bit like we just talked about the other way around, the Chiefs are a feast or famine. They either blitz everybody or they drop everybody out. The first time around, the Bills tried to be like balanced I formation. We're going to run the ball a little too and keep Mahomes on the sideline. And they had a hard time getting in rhythm as an offense. So, I think you put more stress on the Chiefs D when you go, hey, I'm in the shotgun. You got to worry about Josh Allen design runs, right? You got to worry about containing me in the pocket. And you got to cover all these suckers out here who can beat man-to-man and zone and do all that stuff. So that's where I think we're going to see both teams go, wait, we got studs at quarterback. The quarterbacks are the reason we're here, and we're going down with them having the ball in their hand all game long. And I think the Bills can make some big plays on the Chiefs D, certainly, but I would think that's going to be their approach this time around too.
Okay, so can they win? Make your pick.
They can win, yes, but I'm not going to pick them to win. I'm not. I mean, the Chiefs, just like you said, I picked the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl before the year. I'm not going to pick the Chiefs to lose one of these games until I see it. I'm not. Now, we know, I think they can lose again. We saw a clip today of Chris Jones basically saying the Bills are the Chiefs from 2 years ago. They can score at will, and the quarterback's awesome and all that. So it's dangerous, yes. But the Chiefs, Mahomes, their offense, and to me, here's the thing. just the 4 playmakers they have on defense that the Bills don't have. I think that's what Chris Jones, Tyrann Mathieu, what's the hell's Frank Clark. They have some ballers, just for lack of a better way to say it, that can make some plays in some big moments.
Score.
35-31 Chiefs. Sorry about that.
I was going to go 30-27 Chiefs, but the spread is 3, so I will go I was going to say 44-38, but no, I'm going to go 31-27 Chiefs. They win and they cover.
So we're both.
So you've got the same
wins.
thing, 4-point margin.
Right.
4-point margin. I was going to go 30-27, and it may be 30-27, but the spread's 3, so we can't do that because that's no fun picking the push. So that's where we are.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.